Welcome to my podcast. I'm Reagan Bashara, founder of Ollie's Accounting, a bookkeeping and payroll services firm based in the United States. I have almost a decade of small business accounting expertise to share with my clients and the business community at large. I want to help you define your beliefs and values, create better procedures in line with those values, and realize your financial agency and independence as a small business owner. Whether you've got a side hustle or a fully fledged business with a team of employees, we all share the same struggles against our limiting beliefs. Let's overcome those together by imagining new ways of doing business. All right, hi everybody. This is the first podcast episode that I am recording in the new year 2023. This is my first week back, not only home because I was on vacation and traveling over the holiday break, Christmas and New Year's, but it's also my first week back working in my home office. I did have to do some work over the holiday because I do have payroll clients. And the funny thing about payroll is that my clients and their employees don't care if I'm on vacation, they still need to get paid. I had to take my laptop and do a little bit of work while I was gone, but honestly, it felt good to just kind of do a couple of tasks that needed to be done for my clients, get that out of the way, and I was really able to unplug and enjoy my time off and my time away from home, and to see family that I haven't seen in a couple of years. So I've told y'all before that I live in Louisiana, which if you're not in the United States, that's in the southeastern part of the United States. And my mom and two of my brothers live in another part of the country, so they live in the Northeast. And the last time I saw them was in December of 2020. So even though it was like COVID and the pandemic and stuff, I quarantined before I traveled, masked up and everything on the flight, tested and made sure that it was safe for me to be around my family and to be traveling. And I was able to spend a little bit of like a Christmas holiday with them that year, and that was really nice. And this time I got to take my husband up there. So my husband is from Louisiana, and he had never been back to where I grew up. And he'd never been to New York City or Philly. So both of us went up there and spent time with my family, and we did some fun stuff. So we went to New York City to see a Broadway show. We saw The Book of Mormon, which was really fun. Very raunchy and inappropriate if you're into that sort of thing. I personally love Broadway musicals and musical theater. In high school, I was in the pit orchestra. I was in all of the band things, marching band, symphonic band, pit orchestra for musical theater. And I just loved it. And I really have always enjoyed musical theater. So anytime I get to go to New York City, I really try to see a Broadway show. So we saw Book of Mormon. That was awesome. Took husband to the city for the first time, which, if you've never been to New York before, but you've been to other big cities, it's like New York is its own special little world, and it can be overwhelming, but it was actually really fun. There was a lot of people, and it was pretty cold, but none of that really was a bad thing. And we were there a couple days before New Year's, and so they kind of had Times Square all set up for the New Year's party presentation that they do. And it wasn't that bad. So I say that. I'm like, no, we actually had a really good time. Otherwise, we just spent time with my folks, and that was really awesome. And like I said, I was able to unplug not only from work, but just from my phone in general. I just wasn't checking it as often. I wasn't really keeping up with friends back home. And that's totally okay. I kind of had this feeling that I had put on scuba gear or a snorkel mask to my regular life and just submerged. And I just felt really detached from my normal regular life at home. And it was actually kind of awesome. but it's made coming back to Louisiana feel like I'm coming up for air and taking like a big deep breath and just getting back into my routine, which can be a little depressing because I do enjoy seeing my family and I stay in touch with them, but distance does make me long to like spend time with them, and it does make me nostalgic to go back to where I grew up and all of that. So this week has been like readjusting to my normal routine at home. I have pets that I've talked about before, so like coming back and like, you know, having animals to take care of, having a house to take care of and clean and keep up with. All of that has been kind of rough this week. So I've just been like easing back into working and easing back into my job kind of tasks and duties that I do. And I've had to move some things around on my calendar this week, which is fine. But I did get exposed to COVID while I was traveling. We were masked up, you know, on the flights and everything, and like when we were around other people. So I got my COVID booster shot, the most recent one I got in early December. So I really think that that motherfucker is in my body right now, just like doing the most. Because I only had like a slight sore throat yesterday, and I've been doing at-home tests, and all of those have been negative, but I'm going to exercise extreme caution because I really do care about protecting other people and protecting my community and making sure that I do my part to keep other people safe who might be immunocompromised and such. So I'm just going to mostly stay home this week, and when I do go places, because I do have things planned, I will be masked to make sure that there's no possibility that I could spread anything to anybody else. But so far, I've been negative the couple of times I've tested at home, and we'll just be limiting contact. So I'm just kind of holed up in my house this week, trying to get back into my routine, get back into the swing of things. And I have a few podcast episodes like recorded in advance. So I was able to take time last week while I was on vacation and not record anything. And I was kind of banked up for podcast episodes to where I actually could have waited until next week to record this. But I was like, it's probably a good thing for me to be like at least 1 week ahead from when the episodes get released. So I'm recording that now, had to move it around. But I couldn't really think of anything that I wanted to talk about. I have discussed with you already like what my plans are for my business in 2023, like the kind of attitude and thought processes that I'm bringing into the new year. I've kind of invited you to do that with me, to kind of practice those intentions with me. Whether or not you have resolutions or goals that you want to meet in 2023, that's amazing, and I'm rooting for you the whole way. But I've already set a revenue goal for my business in 2023. I don't really have any personal goals or resolutions, and I don't normally set those anyways. I already have like a movement routine. Like I said, I teach Zumba classes locally in my community. So I kind of already have a movement routine. I don't really feel like changing that. I don't see the need to. So I'm just going to stick with like my revenue goal for 2023, and not really add anything else onto my plate to focus on. Like I've already focused on that revenue goal, and I like the progress that I'm making with that so far. So there's not really any reason or need that I see to add something new just because it's the new year. And so I think that like the New Year's resolution thing, and especially the diet culture and diet industry, is just so convoluted and rooted in like capitalism that I'm just so not interested in subscribing to any of that anymore. Like January 1 is just another day on the calendar. Time is a construct and it's all made up. And if feeling pressured by outside sources who just are wanting to make money off of me, to make a New Year's resolution, to feel bad enough about myself to want to change something about me, like I'm just not interested in subscribing to that at all at this time in my life. So that's why I'm just not going to do anything new this year. But we've already talked about like my intentions for 2023 in terms of like not shaming or judging myself, over delivering to my clients and the business community at large, and then also allowing like my mental drama about everything to kind of play out without acting on it. Those are my intentions, and I'm going to stick to those for sure. But I don't have any other things to share with you at this time. And so I wanted to reinforce this idea that I'm over-delivering this year in free resources to the small business community. So I'd like to tell you more about those because I've kind of like been dripping things out into the ether on social media and on this podcast and to my personal network. I've been talking about some stuff, but I want to really take stock of the things that are available out there for you if you're a business owner already, or if you're starting a business this year, or if you have like a little seed in your mind somewhere that's like, maybe I want to start a business someday. I just want to call your awareness to the free resources that I've already made available to my community. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Free resources for your business. So this is all stuff that I've either created and put out there already, or that I've taught, or that are available for you to just go in and download. And so I'm going to tell you about those things now. There's 5 sort of things that I want to cover. So first and foremost, the most recommended resource that I want you to take advantage of is to do a consult call with me. And this is not going to be me trying to sell you anything. This is a free resource. This is my time that I will give to anybody who is interested in talking to me or feels like they have questions that they need me to answer about anything to do with their business, small business, taxes, bookkeeping, accounting, payroll, organization, etc. So I have consult calls that are virtual. So it'll be via Zoom, and it's your time to really ask me anything, or for us to just kind of talk about where you're at in your business journey. And so those are 30 minutes, and it's really, really important for me to be able to allow people access to my expertise, and this is one of the ways that I do that. Now, if you're interested in having an engagement with me for bookkeeping or payroll services, this is the first step. But truly, it's also for anybody that just wants to learn more about what I do, or maybe has a question that they want to ask for my help with, any sort of consultation or advice that you need. This is the way that you can schedule some time with me to go over that. So the link to get on my calendar to do a free 30-minute virtual consult with me is alleaseaccounting.as.me/consult. And so we've kind of talked about that in some previous episodes. You can go to my website, alleaseaccounting.com, and just click on schedule a consult with me. It's at the top of every page. You can just click that button. It takes you right to my calendar. And that way you can look at what your availability is and see what's available on my calendar and go ahead and just schedule some time with me. And so, of course, that's perfectly 100% free, and I promise that I'm not going to be pushy or sell anything to you unless you are interested in my bookkeeping services. I've had people schedule consults with me to talk about their taxes, even though I don't do individual or business tax returns. I do payroll tax returns for my clients that pay employees. I do file 1099s for my bookkeeping clients that need to file 1099s for their contractors. Other than that, I don't do individual tax returns or business S Corp and corporation or partnership tax returns. But you can still get on a consult call with me and ask me questions about your taxes and how your small business might affect your taxes this year. I've assisted in preparing tax returns for several years, almost as long as I've been doing bookkeeping. So I have experience with people that have small businesses that are a partner or that maybe are an owner of an S Corp. And so I can advise you and kind of give you an idea of how to approach your tax situation this year if you want, or if you have specific questions about stuff. I won't be preparing tax returns this year again, but it's something that I can kind of advise you on. So if you'd like to talk about that or really any other topic, just get on a consult call with me. It's free. Like, why wouldn't you do that? 30 minutes virtual call, alleaseaccounting.as.me/consult. That's the first one. Free resource is just talking to me. And then the second one would be the Chaos to Calm Receipt Organization Guide. And so I've talked about this a couple of times, but it's actually something that I just developed in December because I realized that people truly are intimidated by like a mountain of paperwork. And if you're good at saving your receipts, that's awesome. But sometimes, there's still the barrier between, well, I've saved all my receipts and now I need to organize them in some sort of system that makes sense and that is useful to me and provides me information about my business. So I saw this need in the community of people being overwhelmed with paperwork. And I said, can I distill my system that I use for my business and my clients down into a guide that I can just make free for people to walk through step by step? So this is my system of organization of receipts and paperwork for my firm. And then this is how I also set up receipts organization for my clients. So all of my clients have access to a portal that is a document management portal that has unlimited space for them, and it's end-to-end encrypted, like it's secure because of course this is your financial information. So I chose a product that was going to provide that security for my clients' sensitive data. But I do have a way that we organize receipts. And so what I've done is I've written this guide that walks you through not only step by step of how to set up your own system based on what I do, but the mindset work that you need to do to go ahead and do it. Because often what's getting in the way of us being organized and utilizing a system is our mindset about it. It's either an insurmountable task to sit down and organize a bunch of receipts, or if you have an organization system already, it's something that doesn't work and isn't functional for your day-to-day life and your business operations to maintain that system. So I'm trying to think of an example of this, but and not even to do with receipts. Everybody has to do dishes, right? Unless you're eating strictly off of paper plates and plastic forks and spoons, you have plates and cups and silverware in your house that need to be cleaned on a daily basis. And so in my house, we have this system where I do the dirty dishes. So not only do I wash the dirty dishes that don't go in the dishwasher, but I load the dirty dishes into the dishwasher and then I run it. And my husband's job is to, when he walks past the dishwasher and he sees that little sign on the dishwasher that says the dishes are clean, he unloads the dishwasher. And that way the dishwasher is either empty and ready for dirty dishes, or already has dirty dishes in it and it's waiting to be filled up, or the dishes are clean and it's his turn to take the dishes out and put them away. So that's the system that we have, and it's functional for us. And I've made it functional by adding the little magnet on the front that you can flip over to dirty or clean so that we both know the status of the dishwasher at any time. So that's the system that is functional for us. And it's I don't have to tell him, hey, the dishwasher's clean, and he just walks by and sees the little sign. And so that's his signal that oh, do I have time to unload this right now? If not, okay, I need to do that by the end of the day, whatever. And then I have my system that I'm not going to leave dirty dishes in the sink. I'm going to make sure that I put them, instead of just laying them in the sink, go ahead and put them in the dishwasher so that dishes don't pile up. So that system is functional for us, but it wasn't always that way. We had to test some things out, trial and error. We had to communicate about it because there's two of us living in this house, and we had to communicate okay, this is what each of us needs to do our individual parts to make sure that the dishes get clean every day. Chaos to Calm is my receipt organization guide that creates a functional system that works for you. So you're actually developing your own system, but it's based on the system that I use for all of my clients. And the way that it's set up is that you will never have to figure out where your receipts are if you're using this system. As long as you know about the time or date, month, year at least, that the transaction took place, you'll be able to find the receipt for that transaction. So that's my receipt organization guide that's called Chaos to Calm. And you can find the link to that either in my Instagram bio. It'll be in the notes for this show. So if you are listening to this on any podcast platform, there will be show notes and there will be a link to this Chaos to Calm receipt organization guide. You can go download it. All I need is your email address. So that's the second free resource available to you. The third thing that I've made available, or it's really an ongoing thing, is that I've been doing these free mini classes on Facebook Live on my business Facebook page. So on Facebook, I'm at All Ease Accounting, so it's just the same everywhere. You can go to my Facebook page, and I've already taught several mini classes on Facebook Live. And so my plan is to do these weekly. I took a break, obviously, the week of Christmas. And then I don't know if I'm going to do one this week, so the week of New Year's yet, but maybe something will come to me that I want to teach on, and I will just go live and do it. And so each of these classes is about 20 minutes long, and it's something that you really need to watch. So it's not like a podcast where you could just listen like while you're driving. And the reason is because I've done a video so that I can share the QuickBooks Online environment on video and kind of walk you through some tips and tricks and techniques that I use in my own books, and I teach to my clients as well on certain accounting things or certain bookkeeping tasks. So there's a few of those mini classes already available on Facebook Live. By the time you're listening to this, there will probably be at least one more. And then if you're listening to this way after this episode's come out, hopefully there will be a lot more mini classes available to you. Those are only about 20 minutes long so far. That'll probably be the same format that I continue using, so that length, about 20 minutes, because I really just want to do bite-sized things showing you best practices to use in the QuickBooks Online environment, or really just giving advice about small business accounting and bookkeeping and being a small business owner in general. So I'm also taking suggestions about what I'm going to teach on Facebook Live in the future for these mini classes. I've already done some free trainings on QuickBooks Online, showing you examples, giving you advice, but I really want to know from the audience what topics you would like to learn about, or if you have questions about how to do something specific in QuickBooks Online, and if it's something that I can show you, I would love to show that publicly and to teach not only you, but other people who might be experiencing the same issues or who might have the same questions. So I'm taking suggestions for those mini classes. If you have something that you'd like to learn about, you'd like me to teach on, please leave me a comment either on any post on Instagram. You can send me a DM at All Ease Accounting on Instagram. I'd like to know what topics you want to learn about because this is one of the ways that I'm going to be over-delivering to the business community in 2023. So go check out those free mini classes on Facebook Live. So that'll be facebook.com/accountingwithease is the web address, or you can just log into Facebook and in the search bar, search for All Ease Accounting, and my business page should come up, and those videos are already available for you to go watch. The fourth free resource that is available to you right now is called a burn rate calculator. And this is available to you after you've already worked through the Chaos to Calm receipt organization guide. So this is something that you will receive after you've done that, after you've signed up for my email list and received the Chaos to Calm guide, which is the free resource that I talked about earlier. You will also get the burn rate calculator. And the burn rate calculator is an Excel spreadsheet with a little formula. And so what you're going to do there's two methods to determine your burn rate, and I'll talk about what that is in a second. The first method would just be taking your starting and ending cash over a certain time period, and it's actually going to tell you how much longer you would have until your cash runs out. And then the second method, that's a little bit more complicated, and the formula is available on this spreadsheet, is to take the average income that you have monthly, and then it also takes into consideration your monthly regular expenses. So things like rent, your cell phone bill, any sort of office supplies or software that is a recurring expense. You're going to enter in your income for each month. You're going to enter your monthly expenses. You're going to enter your starting cash balance. And then it's going to tell you how long, based on that formula, how much longer you have before you burn through your cash. So a burn rate calculator is going to give you sort of like how much runway is left in your business if you were to continue on the same rate of income and expenses and cash flow that you have now. Do a quick example. If you start with $1,000 in cash and you're only making $500 a month in income, and then you have monthly recurring expenses of $300, you're still increasing your cash every month because you're taking in more than you're spending. However, if you start with $1,000 and then you only make $500 a month, but you spend $800 a month of your cash, that's $300 a month that you're spending. Your business is going to run out of cash within 4 months. So the burn rate calculator is a formula. It's actually two separate formulas. There's a simplified method, and then there is a more complicated formula that you can actually put your expenses into. And so what this is telling you is how much longer you have at the rate that you're going until your business, quote unquote, runs out of cash. And so that's not anything to freak you out by. It's just a way to look at what are my monthly expenses, what's my income, and then from there you can make a decision, a couple of different decisions. You can either make a decision to try to make more money each month, so increasing your income. You can cut some expenses each month, so whether that's cutting out software that you don't use, finding a cheaper place to rent, things like that. Reducing your expenses will increase the cash that's left over each period, so each month. Or, you can determine with this burn rate calculator how soon you're going to need to inject cash or capital into your business. So that can be from your personal funds, or it can be, I know by May of this year, I'm going to need to go get a business loan because I'm actually going to run out of cash according to this burn rate calculator. And this isn't a full stop, end all, be all calculator, and it's not anything to freak you out, but it's just information. It's just a tool to use to kind of plan ahead and see where your business is going to go if you continue at the rate that you're doing. The burn rate calculator is available to people who download the Chaos to Calm receipt organization guide. The burn rate calculator will come in an Excel format, and that will come to you after you've downloaded the receipt organization guide. And then finally, the fifth resource that is free and available to you right now is, of course, once again, me, via my social media accounts. So I've talked before about Instagram, I talked about Facebook. Make sure that you go and follow me on those accounts because I do a lot of free teaching here on the podcast. I'm doing mini classes on Facebook Live. I may go on Instagram and record a quick reel with some, quick tips about bookkeeping or whatever. There's a lot of value to be had in just having me in your feed and also letting you know the next time that I have a free resource become available. The next time that I create something that I want to share with people because I want to be helpful to them, that's how you're going to find out about it. It's getting on my email list and following me on social media. So my Instagram handle is @alleaseaccounting, and my Facebook is also alleaseaccounting, but you can navigate to the URL facebook.com/accountingwithease. So make sure you're following me, make sure you're on my email list, and especially on my email list, because that is the group of people that will find out first when I'm doing a new program, when I have a new service, when I've got a new resource available. That's where you're going to find out about it first. So please go subscribe to my email list. You can subscribe by going to my website, or you can go to my Instagram or Facebook and click anywhere and subscribe. Get on my email list. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today, is just letting you know what free resources are already available to you from me. And this is teachings, this is content, this is free downloadable guides. And then, of course, number one, a consult call with me. So my time and attention with you one-on-one for 30 minutes. It's a virtual call. It's completely free. And I promise, if you do not want to buy anything from me, if you do not want to engage with me, you can still get a consult call with me, and I will still give you my attention and give you my expertise and give you the best advice that I can give you. So go do those things, all 5. Check them out. And also tell me what you'd like to learn about in the future. So since I'm working on over-delivering this year, how can I over-deliver to you? Thanks for listening. If you are enjoying what you're learning on this podcast, please consider supporting me through a subscription on Anchor.fm. Any donation amount is welcome, or you can simply share it with someone you know. You can also follow me on Instagram at alleaseaccounting and sign up for my email list at alleaseaccounting.com/subscribe. Thanks for listening.